Hello everyone, Maryann here from Revealing Light, Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality, wherever you are in the world when you're watching. The hugest of shout outs to you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. In my last video I talked about last week I got a very strong intuition that the energy would change. I didn't know when, but the energy would change. That the, I guess the shock and I don't know if it was powerlessness from November on, that there would start to be really people rising up and taking back their power. We are seeing that now. As I was talking about that, I had an orb circling around behind me. Pardon me, and it came over my shoulder and flew into, almost like into the computer from the microphone. I got a very good friend of mine, Joni. A big huge shout out to Joni. She's in Canada, and she cut down the video for me and sent me the part where the orb is flying. And it's a winged orb near the microphone. I posted that. I uploaded that for you to see. I'll pop it on my website as well. It's not the first time this has happened. It seems to be a regular occurrence here. So I took that as from past experiences, these orbs show up when there's a particular emphasis that they want to make. And in that case, the emphasis was on what will take Trump down. Trump and Musk in the US and those like him will be bold visions for the future that have nothing to do with the past, that are unlike anything that has been presented in the past. That these visions, bold visions for the future, would be enough to defeat Trump and Musk, and that the energy and the momentum would rise. Well, we are seeing that now. It doesn't matter whether you look at red states, blue states, purple states, where Republicans are holding town halls. They are getting boos. They're getting called out. People are angry. People are angry at Elon Musk, and they're angry at Trump for allowing Musk to be doing what he's doing. Now, probably a month ago, I read that when these changes hit the hip pocket nerve, i.e. when they started to cost voters money, when they didn't get their Medicaid, when they didn't get their grant, that, or when they lost their job, or we're starting to see multitudes of voters saying, I didn't vote for this. I voted for him. I've lost my job. I didn't vote for this. Well, he told you what he was going to do. What did you think? It was going to happen to someone else and not you? And therein lies the lesson for those people who are now suffering, and I don't welcome their suffering at all. The extent of the carnage across the US is extensive, and it will continue to get like this until Republicans find their spine. On that, it's been reported that Republicans in the US are being threatened by MAGA. I also want to mention the polls. The latest poll now, it's a rapid descent for him. His approval rating is underwater now. It's dropped dramatically, and it will continue to drop as well. Lies will fall on deaf ears when people turn up and find that the money that they were getting, or the insulin that they were paying $6 for, now $80. The reality hits home, and so the momentum will continue to build. And so that validation with the orb was spot on. Thank you, Spirit. All right, let's look at that. I think there's a great deal of anger against Elon Musk. I said that they were raiding. They had their hands in the honeypot. That's the end game, was about money, more power, and more influence. Also want to say, before I even start, and I'm pretty chuffed about this, because I take it seriously, my strike rate, whether I'm correct or not. I take that very seriously. I predicted that the AfD in Germany, the far-right party in Germany, would not win the election. I saw a door with a battering ram. They were battering, trying to get in with the help of, dreadful, the help of the Trump-Musk current US government. And I said they damaged the door a little bit, but it didn't fully break down. And so I said they're not going to win the election. They may make a dent in that door, but they are not going to win the German election. Thankfully, at this stage, it looks like Angela Merkel's old party, the Christian Democrats, I think they're called, led by Merz, M-E-R-Z. He is an old political rival of Angela Merkel, the former Chancellor of Germany. Her party has now won. They are conservative, but then by no means a far-right party, and never pale into insignificance against the extremism of the AfD. Germany is in good hands. Merz is a firebrand, as I've read about him. He's already pushing back. He's likened Trump, Vance and Musk's interference in the German elections to no better than Russian interference in European elections. So if Trump thinks he's having an easy ride with the future Chancellor Merz, he's got another thing coming. We are going to see Europe rise. All right, let's see. Go back to the US. Is momentum building in the US against Trump and Musk? And let's just, of course it is, I know it is, but I want to see what the cards have got to say. Their support will be always solid with the hardcore MAGAs, so I already know that. I'm talking about Republicans who seem very angry in those town halls. All right, so is the momentum building against Trump and Musk? What can you show me? What is relevant for my viewers to see or know? Is the momentum building? Dreadful scenes of women being dragged out of town halls in Idaho, a truly terrible thing to witness, for simply, talking dragged out by men in dark colours with no identification at all. Okay, the Queen of Cups, this is about self-care. She came up a lot in my readings in the last few weeks. She will appear always when there is a movement. She's wise. She brings forward stability through wisdom, through emotional intelligence, and through bringing these attributes to the fore to look after not just yourself but others. So I'm glad to see her, and she's crossed by the Chariot. You will see. People have asked me why I leave the curtains open. That's where the orbs play and dance in the sun. You see them against the dark curtains and they come from the light. That is why I leave that open purposefully, and I will never close it, hence revealing light. Okay, so I'll do my best to put the cards over here, though. It's just going to it's building. It's building. It's as much as there is this there was this blitzkrieg action from Musk and Trump, there is equally now, because once the emotions are involved, once the willpower is there, it looks like it's going to quicken now. They should watch out. The World card, interesting. The end of an old cycle and the beginning of the new. When I did my predictions at the end, I did a prediction on the US, and I said the World card came up along with the Death card. I've said this repeatedly. Things aren't going back to the way they were. This is an era of people power. This is an era where people start to articulate exactly what they want from their elected politicians, because people have had enough of not enough being delivered for them. This is the end. And I said, oligarchy will be brutally exposed, and of course a new system starts to develop. This is one that is a highly responsive electorate to those that come forward with the, as I said, visions for the future. All right, so I see that as a good card in this context. The Nine of Pentacles is in the past. Of course, it's all about the money, isn't it? It's all about the oligarchy. We have in the sky the Page of Cups. You're going to see a lot more activity from young people. All of this is emotionally driven. We have the Lovers, and of course we see people coming together. It's also my card for Trump and his MAGA base. But it's in this instance with so much energy moving in the direction of people fighting back, I see alliances forming in ways that will even surprise Mr. Trump himself. All right, the Two of Pentacles currently, people have to make choices. We're going to lead into a couple of things now from this. We get the higher, bringing forward our higher self. We get the courts, the Supreme Court. So, the Supreme Court has already shown it will not rule automatically in favour of Trump. In fact, he's had a loss already. The courts are tossing out his birthright citizenship bid to overturn that with the derision that it warrants. So I'm pleased to see that this is also spirituality as well, government. People have to make choices now. Okay, we see the Wheel of Fortune change in the hopes and fears, and we see the sun. We see the sun. There's a unity and a coming together, and I see an emphasis on, this is around people who aren't getting, who have been disappointed, who have been literally left out in the cold. Their money has been, their benefits, you pay into Social Security, as we do in Australia here. Our taxes go to fund our aged pension. So when we reach retirement age, we're given a pension. I gather Social Security is a bit like that. People are, I'm not going to swear, but they are, let's just say, peeved off. Okay, and we get the Hermit card. A lot of reflection and introspection here. If I had to hold a glass up to the wall of some of these households who may have voted for him, there's a lot of introspection going on, a lot. And we see justice. What is taken away, it comes back. That's a karmic card. A karmic card. This is deep, deep, deep reflection and learning. The Four of Wands tells me there's a coming together, something coming to fruition in time, plans being formulated, and of course we have the Five of Wands, literally the tug of war, the Magician and the Devil. So we have a lot of deceit still going on. There's going to be a lot more holding back of the money, and we have a lot more court cases and mobilization through really sophisticated means, whether it's the ACLU or other groups. You could see groups, I'm feeling groups of Republicans coming together to initiate lawsuits off their own bat. And as we saw in Arizona, the original effort to keep him off the ballot was done by Republicans. And this is not never Trumpers. These are various groups within the Republican Party. I think you're going to see a lot more action coming from them as well. Okay, let's look at the Republican senators. They're receiving threats when they move against anything that Trump or Musk are saying. They're threatened. There was a reason why he let the January 6th people out of prison. They're getting death threats. I want to see if they're intimidated at all by those threats into voting in another way from their conscience or from what is good for their own electorates. Bernie Sanders, brilliant performer. He is he's going to Republican swing districts and holding rallies. They're sold out. They can't, not sold out, but they're full. They can't fit people in the arenas that he's going to. Okay, so Are Republicans intimidated by these death threats and are not voting as they normally would have? Are Republicans... So I'm getting a crossroads. Again, it's a crossroads for everybody. What are you going to decide? Are you going to allow the wrecking ball to continue? Are Republicans receiving death threats, and are they intimidated? Republicans receiving death threats. Yeah, I'm gonna get you, literally. I would say that people like Mikowski and Collins, you know, they'll go for who they feel is, you know, may not be able to fight back, because that's how bullies operate, led by the bully in chief. Ten of Swords. It's not just death threats. It's other threats. I'm going to primary you out. The Seven of Cups. Are they making the right choices? They're definitely thinking about what's being held against them. This is like extortion in a way, blackmail. It's definitely having an effect on them because they don't know what to do. They don't know who to go to. Do they go to the FBI and get Kash Patel? Do they go to the DOJ and get Pam Bondi? It's a difficult climate for them. With Democrats, they can go to the floor and say, you know, they just threatened me, and they'll get a whole room full of Democrats coming at the person making the threat. But Republicans can't go out into the arena and say, you know, this is what they're doing to me. Yeah, they are. Unfortunately, that's where they are. They're down the well. They can't really see a way out. Not all of them, please. You know, please. But they are. Look at the cards. The Moon card in the past, volatility. It's not that this is not the first time this has happened. The Emperor, control, fall in line or else. However, moderation is in the near future. And some of these, either members in swing states or senators that are copying it, want a more moderate approach from the president. That's interesting. Look at this fear and restriction and paranoia in the present. The Knight of Swords, the truth emerging. I wish you had a decent media to bring this out. Look at all these cards. It is really very telling. The Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Moon card, Trump overseeing all of this. But there's hope here because we get moderation, we get the Knight of Swords, the truth, we get the King of Swords in the hopes and fears that logic and strategy remain. And we get 3 cups lost and 1 remaining. There is a lifeline here for them. And it's called unity. It's called unity. And the Ten of Pentacles, though, not all of them will answer this call. In fact, most of them won't, but some will. The Nine of Wands, guardrails. Okay, so some will. And we get the Fool card, a new start, Queen of Wands. Yeah, there's definitely the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. There's definitely some who are going to buck him in a very clever way, in a very strategic way, and bring forward moderation as a result. But you can see the cards, they are being threatened in multitude of ways. They want more moderacy. We get the Chariot card, everything is out of control for them. They don't, not all of them, but some of them do not like what they're seeing, and they're looking for ways to bring forward more moderacy. Remember that some of these people that have been in the Senate for decades and reps, they've got their own ego. They may not so easily fold. So you're going to see where it's critical to their re-election they're not entirely going to be bending the knee. Okay, they are being threatened. You saw the cards. All right, I wish you had a stronger media in America and in Australia that could actually take these stories, run with them, reveal them, and then report on the momentum that may result from what is clearly threatening and intimidating behaviour. All right, now there's been a story released going back a long time. Let's face it, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly, Trump was cultivated and by the Russians. Of course, no surprises there. We've been talking about it for nearly a decade, friends, nearly a decade. The story from an ex-KGB head who's now living, I think, in Vienna, has been raised again in light of Trump's obvious cozying up to Putin in a way that is shocking to us all. Now, the ex-KGB head is saying that he was cultivated in the 80s. His code name was Krasnov. There are multitudes of stories out there on this. They may be right, they may be wrong. We haven't seen those kind of investigations yet. Although years ago I predicted that all will be revealed by the end of all of this. Remember, I was reading on this and I got the clairvoyant image that he was a plant. I saw a plant. Spirit gave me a plant. And I'm saying, in response to the question, was he a Russian asset? Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. And it took me a minute. What the hell is a plant here? And of course, viewers reminded me that a plant is a Russian plant, planted in a certain position. So, okay, so Russia is not Trump's friend any more than he is the US's friend. Even after Trump made the statement against Zelensky and Ukraine and pro-Putin, Russian state television was showing pictures of how they were going to nuke America and laughing about it. So, all right, let's get back. So the irony, of course, is what I'm smiling about, that it's ironic that Trump would throw his lot in with Putin when it is not in the interests of the US. Okay, let's have a look at whether or not he is Krasnov. All right, what do you want to show me? Upside down triangle is what I see here. Very clearly, I've been seeing this a lot lately. Someone will know what an upside down triangle means. It could be that when he uses that symbol that he does with his hands, he could be talking in a way. I don't know. I'm just seeing the upside down triangle is meaningful in relation to this question. All right, is Trump a Russian plant? Is Trump a Russian plant? Is Trump a Russian plant? Trump a Russian plant? There are things that are yet to be revealed. Secrets. Money. Oh, God. The Four of Swords is the foundation of the reading. They gave him money when he most needed it. And in some way it's not been declared. There's not a paper trail here. The Hanged Man in the past. To me that's sort of like bondage, isn't it? They got to him when he was most vulnerable. The Seven of Cups, illusion, delusion, good and bad choices. What choices did he make back then that have reverberated down through the decades, and particularly in the last 10 years? You can see these cards. The moon card, something below the surface. The presidency in the here and now. The Hierophant comes to, you know, the government. Control of the government. But I'm also seeing this as an energy that will eventually consume him. The courts. The hopes and fears, it's certainly something we fear. And there he is in his full King of Pentacles glory, the businessman, the abuse of power, and a new start. This ends. After him, this ends. This sordid Russian, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, sordid Russian connection, it ends with him. It ends with him because this goes back decades and decades and decades. Page of Pentacles and the Star. Okay. Put your hope, as I said in my annual predictions, most of which have already come true. I'll have to do a mid-year prediction to take us through the next 6 months if you want to go back and have a look at that. If you want to put your focus on anything, we've got new starts, new generations, and the Star card. The rot has been there for a long, long time. We have the Knight of Swords, the truth. The King of Swords, the truth. The guardrails and the past. There she is, Russia, the Empress card. My card for Russia. I think it's pretty clear really what we're seeing. I think almost this is a kind of a mute question now. It's like, can he actually do anything given the Hierophants there, the pushback, the momentum's there? Can he actually succeed? Because I don't think he can. All right, so now I want to get on to Musk and what happens to him. It's almost as if he can't. He's doing things that are going to make him undone, that are going to cause him to come undone. Ultimately, you can't treat people this way. I've seen multiple clips of good civil servants. I was one, and when I was in Australia, and I worked my backside off. Probably it was one of the jobs that I worked, and being a newspaper editor, you work hard as well. One of my jobs where I worked the hardest, it was 24/7, 7 days a week. I had a mid-level managerial position within the government, and it was horrendously busy. Horrendously. I worked in disaster relief, pushing money out the door, developing new programs, implementing whichever government's policy, whether that was a conservative or a Labor government policy. And I must say, we also did some very good work under conservative governments, but I've never seen anything like what is happening in America to put the serious work and the responsible work and the critical work of government in the hands of Elon Musk. Why might that be happening? What might Trump owe Musk? All right. Let's see what happens to Musk. Show me. Let's go a little bit sooner. It's a crossroads for him as well. There's a collar. So he holds power over Trump. Will they ever come to... Will Trump and Musk part ways at any point? Will Trump and Musk part ways at any point? Elon's going over a cliff here, or was, or is still going over a cliff. Will Trump and Musk ever part ways here? Will Trump and Musk in the near term, ever part ways. Musk. So we've got the Fool card, we've got New Starts, and then we've got the Eight of Wands, Speed. He's bringing in what he considers, Musk considers, a new start for the US government. But this is also headlines as well. The speed of this, I just get a lot of speed. The Ace of Pentacles, interesting. I wonder who the money's for. Is it for the taxpayer? Is it for the rich? Is it for the American people? Money is at the root of this in some way. As I keep saying, he was in danger, Musk, of going over a cliff, I think, when he reached out to Trump before the election. So the Sun card, I think the Sun card becomes the pushback, the action of the American people. We get tremendous abuse of power. So far, I'm not seeing them parting ways. The past is in the present here, and then we get loss, walking away from what no longer serves us. Possibly there's something here. The Death card in the hopes and fears, and the outcome card is the Queen of Swords. Will they ever part ways? The Five of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. You might see a visible moving away because Musk is like the fall guy here. We have my card for the Democrats and young people, charity. I feel that he's going to, like, once Musk is done, there'll be a distancing in the relationship. May not necessarily be in actuality. It might just be for the cameras, so to speak. Musk gets what he wants and then steps aside. We've got logic and reason here. It seems to me it's going to get really hot in the kitchen, and Musk might have to step back. Am I reading this correctly? Okay, so we get the Magician, manifestation, manipulation, and loss here, and death, the end of it. Having to defend oneself and waiting for one ship to come in. There's definitely a payoff. The Empress card, abundance. Two of Wands, something coming to fruition in time. Something's going to be leaked there. That's the energy behind all of this. The Chariot, confusion, decision time, and inevitability, and the Tower, and the four of Cups, the Tower, deceit, greed. Oh God! At some point, the Eight of Cups, and there's the seed here now that the pressure will be so great on Trump that Musk will have to step back. But by then, I think Musk has gotten what he wanted. Okay, now, the fact I was given him falling over a cliff, I think there is a possibility of him breaking down at some point in the future, having real health problems, looking for a lifeline in some way. Okay, he's not stable. His health is not stable. For entertainment purposes only. Okay, I want to now go to Ukraine and Europe. Thankfully, the Christian Democrats have come in, led by Merz. It's Angela Merkel's old party. He's a firebrand. Is Germany now going to push back? Is Germany now going to push back against Trump and Musk? I think so. Four of Cups, so we have 3 cups lost, but 1 remaining, thank goodness. We get the 7 of Swords. Okay, so lies and deceit, they're going to push back. They're not going to take this anymore. They have a plan in place, or will have a plan in place. Strength, he'll be a strong leader. We have walking away from what no longer serves him. We have the Devil card, attachment, or the opposite of that, breaking attachments. His focus is on the economy, the German economy, and we get the Queen of Wands, motivating. You know, I think this is a good choice for Germany. The Hierophant card comes into this in the hopes and fears, and then we get the Queen of Cups. He's going to be a very, very good leader here, I think, for Germany, and in some way he's going to have a lot of women in his cabinet. Oh my goodness me, he gets really, really good cards. Now, we have the Death card here, the end of something. He's going to bring an end to something, and I'm not sure what this is. But this is a new start for Germany, a new dawn, if you like. He's going to bring an end to maybe things that were holding Germany back. Germany will prosper under this leader. Okay, so will Ukraine sign this mineral deals with? I mean, it's so premature, isn't it? That Russia, there's been no peace deal signed. Why would Ukraine sign anything? Okay, will Ukraine sign this mineral deal? At any point, will Ukraine sign? They want security guarantees. Will Ukraine sign this mineral deal with the US? What can you show me? Will Ukraine sign this mineral deal? Will Ukraine sign this mineral deal? So there's a huge door covering the light, which means there are riches there. They may cooperate to perhaps get something out of the ground that's valuable. There's something there that America wants. Will Ukraine ever sign this minerals deal with the US? God bless Zelensky. He said today he would step aside as president if they allow Ukraine into NATO. So we get victory and a win, and then we get the world, the end of something and the beginning of something new. We have the Ace of Cups. This is some kind of new start. We have an abuse of power. I think they do in some form, but it's not the original deal. Something coming to fruition in time. 2 months, 2 weeks. We get Russia in the here and now. We get the Queen of Wands, motivation. Ukrainians are very remotivated. The Queen of Cups in the hopes and fears. Is it a good deal for Ukraine? The Magician card can be manifestation or manipulation coming together. They want a third party in there. Okay. I feel what is likely to happen is the deal will be cut down. It won't just be Ukraine and America. It looks like Europe gets a look in here. Yeah. So there is a new start here for Ukraine in some way. So we get walking away, retreat, wound. We get the truth coming through, and we get the Seven of Pentacles. It's not the original deal. No, they don't sign away their rights forever and a day, and it looks like it's more than just the US. So eventually a deal will be done, and they will work with Ukraine to, I guess, take 50% of whatever they're doing in return for security guarantees. The deal is a lot different at the end of the day that they sign than it is now. Okay, will there be ceasefire? Will there be ceasefire? Will there be ceasefire? Okay, so we get the Two of Cups. A deal will be done. And the Emperor, control, the President. Yes, the deal looks like will be done. The Death is in the past. We get the King of Wands stepping forward bravely. It's a lot different. The deal is a lot different by the time... Yeah, there is a ceasefire here. It's tricky at this time. And we get a lot of negotiation. Nothing will be done lightly or quickly. It's difficult. It's a long road. This Knight of Pentacles, stability will return. A lot of anxiety here. And then we get... There is some sort of deal done with America and there are guardrails, but it includes Europe as well. So, yes, there will be a ceasefire. There will be a petitioning off, I think, of Ukraine. The captured areas go to Russia. The free areas remain with Ukraine. I think Europe and the US, they'll use different language, reconstruction. They'll use those words. But ultimately, there's a three-way partnership between Ukraine, the US, and Europe. Okay, anything else that I need to know? Anything else that we need to know? Okay, so what can we say? Yeah, one quick question. Well, what does Trump want from Australia? I'm waiting for the hammer to fall. What does Trump want from Australia? Let's see if I can see anything. What does he want from our country? There's an ending here. There's a death card here. No, he doesn't want our death, but he wants something ended, and I'm not sure what that is. I guess we'll find out. What does he want from Australia? Oh, he's not going to be popular. I can just see him standing there, and he's shielding himself from arrows with a pentacle. What does he want? Let's see. My feeling is he might want more military bases on our sovereign soil. What does Trump want from Australia? Security partnerships in the Pacific. What does he want from Australia? Putting us in against China sort of thing as a buffer. Like he has no regard for Australians or our interests at all. It's military something here, some kind of security military thing. What does Trump want from Australia? God, I wish we were more aligned with Europe. There's a tug of war going on here. It's not, the Australian people don't like what he's proposing. What does he want from Australia? Queen of Pentacles, resources, security, and the truth. The Ace of Swords, the truth and clarity. So we get the Four of Swords, retreat. It's not to say Australia will go along with this. Justice is in the past. I'm fearful of what the past is in the is in the sky here, or it's potential of the reading going back to the past. There's obviously an abuse here. It's coming. Our turn is coming. The Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. So this is the tariffs, restrictions, the Empress card. A lot of people don't like what he's done to Ukraine here in Australia. And the Page of Swords. And the King of Cups. Okay. And the Moon card. Yeah, he's got something planned for us. Page of Cups. It's something around young. I don't know. Is he looking for... Is he looking to... something coming to fruition in time and a deal done. Yeah, that's definitely something here. I just get the impression he might be looking for Australian troops in some way to do something. I mean, it's nothing different to what the English did to Australia in World War II, where they used the Australian troops as cannon fodder in World War II. Not an illustrious history there, is it? It's something like that. Our turn is coming. That's why I think if anyone from the Australian government is listening, please sign something with Europe real quick. Okay, I think that's it. I'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for your support. Really important to remember the momentum is rising. Not all Republicans are so intimidated, not all, and the Democrats certainly aren't. So then you have the people power rising. A lot is changing now, and there's a lot of pushback. On Thursday, I'll read again, and we'll have a look at how long Trump is going to be around. All right, thanks for tuning in, and bye for now. By the way, My hands are improving. I've graduated out of braces, out of support bandages, to just the support gloves and a light brace like this. So I am making progress. Thank you all for your best wishes and your prayers. Arthritis is not a nice thing, and but I'm gradually getting there. All right. Let's face it, I don't enjoy robust health. Oh well, I enjoy a lot of other things, and I make the best of my health. Oh, lovely little all. Thank you very much. Bye for now.